how did you get on with that task? So if you did actually manage to fix it and you got it working, that's great. That shows that you're actually really good with script, okay, and thinking outside of the box as well. If not, I'm going to show you how to fix that in this video. So at the moment in our main camera, what we're doing, we're moving both X and Y at the same time. So we're passing different values into there, which basically means that that's the reason why it's rotating, because at any moment in time, those two are kind of conflicting with each other. Well, what we want to do, we only want to move our main camera on one axis, and we want a parent object that's also going to move the camera to be moving on a different axis. That means that the two different axes don't work against each other. All right, one of them only goes in one direction, the other only goes in the other direction. So on our main camera, I'm going to right click, I'm going to choose create empty. It's just going to create just a transform, that's all. And I'm going to call this parent. I'm going to click and drag this right up to the top to separate it from the main camera, and then click and drag on the main camera onto parent to parent it to the main this object. Okay, I'm going to go back to my script. I'm going to create a game object for that. So public game object slot that I will call parent cam. Just going to save this. Whenever I create a new slot, I try to ensure that I get them filled before I go on with the next step. There we go, we've got an empty game object, so let's just drag parent into there. I do have a tendency to forget, and then when I start playing there's all sorts of errors and I'm like, oh, I forgot to put that in that slot, of course. Okay, so now what we need to do, we need to basically copy this line. So let's just highlight it, Control and C to copy, or you can do edit and copy, and then I'm going to press enter or return, then Control and V to paste. I'm going to change this to parent cam, oops, lowercase p, parent cam. Okay, and the actual parent cam itself, we only want that to move on the Y axis, not on the X axis. So our X axis, which is the first one, is going to be 0. Okay, let's just make that 0. So now it's only moving on that one. And our camera is only going to move on the X axis. Its 0 axis, which is this one in the middle, is going to once again be 0. So we've separated out the two items. So let's now save this and give it a test. So now I'm going to press play. There we go. Now try and move in both axes at the same time. Notice it keeps it perfectly right. It's not giving us like that weird rotation that we had before. Excellent. All right, so that's fixed. As I say, if you manage to do that yourself, that's really great. All right, you're making great progress. But it's a relatively easy fix.